with us on Parliament Television as we wait for live parliamentary proceedings at 14:30 hours to be on live commentary. My name is Matimba Mkua.
And my name is Mtalifeli Lesmate. Good afternoon. Of course, we're joined by our sign language interpreters, that's Chola Kaoma and Jason Manda. So, Matimba, it's good to be back on set with you and just to give our viewers a picture of business that took place on the floor of the House on Friday.
Yes, Muta, when business commenced at 09 hours on Friday, 13th February 2026, notice was taken at 9:02 hours that quorum not formed. Madam First Deputy Speaker ordered the bells to be rung. House counted and quorum having been formed, business commenced. Thereafter, Madam First Deputy Speaker did make some announcements. In the first announcement, Madam First Deputy Speaker informed the House that she had received communication to the effect that in the absence of Her Honor the Vice President, who was attending to other government business, the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Honorable Jack J. Mwimbu MP, had been appointed acting leader of government business in the House from Friday, 13th February 2026 until further notice.
After that, there was another announcement that was made by Madam First Deputy Speaker. And in this announcement, she did recognize the presence in the public gallery of students from Lusaka South College in Lusaka District and pupils and teachers from New Crest Academy Limited in Lusaka District. Madam First Deputy Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, warmly welcomed the visitors to the National Assembly.
In the other announcement, Madam First Deputy Speaker reminded the House that the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, was holding the delimitation consultative meeting in all the constituencies and that ECZ, in consultation with the Speaker's office, had rescheduled the meetings for Thursday 19th and Friday 20 February 2026 to the week beginning 23rd February 2026 to enable all honorable members to attend the special address on the progress made in the application of national values and principles by the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Haga in the Hichilema. She advised all honorable members to attend the presidential address.
Madam First Deputy Speaker further stated that members who would be attending the delimitative consultative meetings on Tuesday 17th and Wednesday 18th February 2026 would be facilitated with logging in credentials so that they attend the sittings virtually.
After those announcements by Madam First Deputy Speaker, the acting leader of government business in the House presented the business statement for the period 17th to 27th February 2026.
And then there was urgent matters without notice that were raised, and 3 urgent matters without notice were raised. The first one was by Mr. Binwen Mpundu. This was on the suspension of roadblocks in the country, and it was inadmissible. The second one was by Mr. Mumba. This was on why the government was not updating the House on its achievements, such as the reduction in inflation rates, the strengthening of the kwacha, foreign investments, and the reduced costs of goods and services. It too was inadmissible. And the last urgent matter without notice that was raised on the floor of the House was by Ms. Nyirenda. And this was on why chiefs' palaces have not yet been constructed in Lundazi constituency, despite the allocation of the Constituency Development Fund toward the projects in 2021. It too was inadmissible.
After those 3 urgent matters without notice, the Minister of Green Economy and Environment made a statement on the anticipated impact of the cyclone Gezani and briefed the House on the advisory measures to be undertaken by the general public, the health and agriculture sectors. After that, the House then moved on to consider questions without oral answer. And on Friday, you remember that 7 questions for oral answer and standing order number 80 were on the order paper and were considered. But during this period, notice was taken that at about 11:02 hours, the quorum had collapsed and Madam was not formed. Rather, that was after the break. And Madam First Deputy Speaker ordered the bells to be rung. The House counted, and once the quorum was formed, business resumed. The House went on to consider the Zambia Deposit Insurance Corporation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2025. It was read a second time and committed to the Committee of the Whole House, and a committee stage will be taken on Wednesday, 18th February 2026.
The Immigration Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2025, came up for consideration at committee stage. This is where a bill does go through committee stage, and at this point the bill is looked at clause by clause. So the bill was then reported as having passed through committee stage with the amendments, and report stage is expected to be considered on Wednesday, 18th February 2026.
And so the House adjourned accordingly at 12:17 hours. So this is business that was considered on the floor of the House on Friday, 13th February 2026. Just now we shift our attention and we look at today's order paper.
So today, as usual, when the House is sitting on a Tuesday, business commences at 14:30 hours. In a short while, of course, we'll be taking you into the chamber live as we expect the business to start. So we expect to have urgent matters without notice, if there will be any announcements, if there will be any, and then we expect the House to consider 13 questions for oral answer under Standing Order number 80. These questions are questions of an ordinary nature. So the first question will be posed by Kanyama Member of Parliament, Mr. Moti Chinkuli, who wants to find out from the Minister of Health whether the government will replace a number of facilities or equipment at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital in Kanyama Parliamentary Constituency. These indeed are the blood count machine and the ultrasound machine. He further wants to know the cause of the delay in replacing the equipment. So this is the question that will be posed by Kanyama Member of Parliament, Mr. Moti Chinkuli.
The next question will come from Chinsali Member of Parliament. This is question 188. Mr. Kalalwe Mukosa. He will direct his question to the Minister of Transport and Logistics. He wants to find out a question in 4 parts. In part A, when construction of the airport in Chisali district will commence. Part B, what the cause of the delay in commencing the project is. Part C, what the estimated cost of the project is. Part D, what the time frame for the completion of the project is.
And Babala Member of Parliament will come with a question. This is question 189. And as I said, it will be posed by Babala Member of Parliament, Mr. Monsanje. This question is going to be asked to the Minister of Education. And in his question, which he poses in 3 parts, he wants to know whether the government is aware that some schools in Babala Parliamentary Constituency stop pupils from attending classes for failure to provide requirements such as toilet paper, rims of paper, and other related material. In the second part of his question, he wants to know whether the action that certain schools do stop pupils from attending classes if they fail to provide toilet paper, rims of paper, and other related material is not against government free education policy. And lastly, what measures the government will take to ensure that the policy is implemented in its entirety.
Question 190 will come from Chama North Member of Parliament, Mr. Yota Mutaichalo. His question will be directed to the Minister of Technology and Science. He wants to find out whether the government is aware that Mwalala Ward in Chama North Parliamentary Constituency has been experiencing poor Zamtel network connectivity. If so, what the cause of the poor network connectivity is, what urgent measures are being taken to resolve the problem, whether the government has any plans to upgrade the network tower at Katangalika from 3G to 5G network. And in the last part of the question, he wants to find out if so, when the plans will be implemented.
So those are just some of the questions that we expect the House to consider on the floor of the House. Remember, we did indicate that 13 questions for oral answer. And then after the questions for oral answer, we do expect the Agriculture Credits and Warehouse Receipts Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2025 to be considered second reading. So in a short while, we take it to the House as Madam Speaker's...
Tendency of Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. Bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Remain we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, O one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen.
You're still watching Parliament TV, the station that is dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you. The time is 14:32. A quorum has not yet formed, so business cannot commence. One of the rules, that is one of the standing orders, and just standing orders, just to mention that these are rules that have been adopted by the House to govern its proceedings. So one of the standing orders guides that business can only commence or continue once a quorum is constituted. And the quorum is about 56 members of Parliament. That's about 1/3 of all the members of Parliament.
Indeed, Mota, and once the quorum is formed, we expect business of the House to commence. And today we expect the House to consider 13 questions for oral answer understanding Order 80, and one bill which is coming at second reading stage. This is the Agriculture Credits and Warehouse Receipts Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2025.
Yes, indeed. So this one, as Timber said, is coming up for consideration at second reading. And just for those wondering what happens during a second reading stage of a bill, this arguably is said to be one of the most important stages in the legislative process, because this is where the pros and cons are indeed outlined by the mover of the motion, giving the advantages and of course the disadvantages, if any, and it's also open to the House, so members of the House do also debate this particular bill at this stage, at its second reading. So this is what happens at second reading, and that's what we expect to happen later on when the House considered the Agriculture Credits and Warehouse Receipts Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2025. And we did mention that we had about 13 questions for answer that will be considered. We did talk about some. Maybe we can talk about the others so that people are aware of the questions that will come.
Question 191 is expected to come from Mpika Member of Parliament, Mr. Francis Kapyanga. His question will be directed to the Minister of Health. He wants to find out in 4 parts. In Part A, whether the government has any plans to construct a Level 1 hospital in Abwalia Chiefdom in Mpika Parliamentary Constituency. In Part B, if so, when the plans will be implemented. Part C, what the estimated cost of the project is. And Part D, if there are no such plans, why?
Okay, and then the other question will be posed by Milenge Member of Parliament, Mr. Chonde. His question directed at the Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts. In his question, which he poses in 3 parts, he wants to find out whether the government has any plans to construct a youth resource center in Milenge district. If so, when the plans will be implemented. And lastly, if there are no such plans, he wants to know why.
Question 193 will come from Chinsali Member of Parliament, Mr. Kalalwe Mukosa. His question will be directed to the Minister of Energy. He wants to find out whether the government has any plans to build power interconnectors to strengthen cross-border energy trade. If so, how many power interconnectors the government plans to build, what the estimated cost of the project is, and if there are no such plans, why.
And then question 194 will be posed by Kwacha Member of Parliament, Mr. Sim Lenga. And he is to ask the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development what measures the government is taking to ensure that local authorities countrywide do not use the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, for staff allowances and programs not related to CDF.
Bwana Mkubwa, Member of Parliament, Mr. Warren Mambazi, will ask question 195. This one will be directed to the Minister of Health. He wants to find out in 3 parts. In part A, whether the government has any plans to construct the following facilities at Mushidi Level 1 Hospital in Bwana Mkubwa Parliamentary Constituency. The first one is the kitchen, the second one a laundry room, the third one mortuary, the fourth one boundary wall fence. In part B, he wants to find out if so when the plans will be implemented, and in the last part of the question, he wants to find out if there are no such plans, why.
And question 196 will be posed by Kalabo Central Member of Parliament. His question will be asked to the Minister of Agriculture. A question which he also poses in 3 parts. He wants to find out how many farmers benefited from the Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility, SAF, program in Kalabo District during the 2024-2025 farming season. In the second part, he wants to know what categories of beneficiaries there were, and lastly, what measures the government is taking to enhance the viability of the program.
Speaker, Member of Parliament, Mr. Francis Kapyanga, will ask question 197. This question will be directed to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, where he wants to find out when the contract for the rehabilitation of the Great North Road from Serenje to Mpika will be signed, whether the contract will include upgrading of township roads to bituminous standard in the districts along the route of the project. If so, which district will benefit from the upgrading of township roads, and in part D, if no township roads will be included, why?
Okay, so if you just tuned into Parliament TV, the station that is dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you, I'd just like to inform you that right now business is not taking place on the floor of the House because at the time business should have commenced, the quorum was not yet formed. And we did mention earlier on that for a quorum to be formed, we need about 1/3 of all members of Parliament. That's about 56 members of Parliament. And the standing orders does guide that when business is supposed to commence, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, business commences at 14:30 hours. So if it does not, if the quorum is not formed at 14:30, bells will be rung for about 7 minutes, and then also 23 minutes, so a total of 30 minutes. If after 30 minutes no quorum is formed, then the House will duly adjourn. So right now the bells are still ringing. The time on Parliament TV is 14:38, so the bells have been ringing after the prayer was said. So that is what is happening on the floor of the House. Once a quorum is constituted, we expect business to indeed commence. But right now we're just giving you a rundown of some of the questions that will be posed on the floor of the House.
Order, honorable members. I have 2 announcements to make. The first one, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of 2 members of the public from Kayema Parliamentary Constituency in Western Province. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. You may take your seats. Thank you. The next announcement, honorable members, I wish to inform the House that approval has been granted to the Catholic Church to hold Mass with Catholic members of Parliament and staff on Wednesday, 18th February 2026, in the amphitheater here at Parliament Buildings. This is in commemoration of Ash Wednesday, an annual religious activity that signals the commencement of 40 days of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving leading up to Easter. Honorable members may wish to know that attendance is voluntary and not restricted to members of the Catholic Church. In this regard, all honorable members and staff are welcome to attend this event, which will take place between 12:30 hours and 13:55 hours. I thank you. Urgent matters without notice. The Honorable Member for Ron.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to raise this urgent matter without notice. And I want to welcome you back, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the urgent matter without notice I want to raise is directed to the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, but I can see that he is not yet in the House. I therefore direct it to Her Honor, the Vice President, who is the government leader of business. Madam Speaker, last night your members at your motel had challenges and difficulties, particularly me, to sleep, in the sense that there were a lot of noise that was coming from what I may call flares or firecrackers or otherwise. Madam Speaker, this went up to 0020 hours, and some of them were so heavy, Madam Speaker, that you would wonder whether they were crackers or they were bombs. Madam Speaker, my conscience is failing me, and I want to find out as to whether the Minister of Home Affairs, or indeed the Honor, the Vice President, is in order not to inform the members as to when these events are supposed to be happening. Are they going to be happening any time so that they catch us unaware? And as such, Madam Speaker, we fail to sleep or indeed to do any readings that you may want to do. The area and the surrounding areas, Madam Speaker, were actually under siege yesterday with this noise. Madam Speaker, I beg your direction so that your members can prepare if there is anything that is going to happen on that particular day, or it is a random thing that will happen at any particular time. Madam Speaker, some of us will be patient. I want your guidance. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Ron. I live in Makeni myself, and I also heard the noise. I was wondering whether there were bombs or thieves have been caught or something. I don't know what ceremony or what celebration it was, but really, Honorable Member for Ron, I don't think that matter qualifies to be raised an urgent matter without notice. I suggest that you find out from the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. Maybe my guess is that we are coming to the end or beginning of the year, and our friends or brothers and sisters from China are celebrating their New Year. So it's just like when you are celebrating Christmas, New Year. So I don't know, we know those calendars. So the matter does not qualify, so it's therefore not admitted. The Honorable Member for Kantanshi.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Let me also join my colleague in welcoming you back. I'm equally rising on a matter that is urgent without notice, and I think it's to the Minister of Mines. In the absence of the Minister of Mines, I will direct it to Our Honor, the Vice President. Madam Speaker, 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, particularly in Kantanshi constituency, Mopane Mine, we had 2 fatal mine accidents, and those mine accidents led to the Minerals Regulatory Commission to invoke one of their acts. I think it's number 56 of Act number 14 of 2024, which was basically dealing with the non-compliance of the safety aspects of the mine. So, Madam Speaker, obviously that suspension of operations of the mines underground did bring some anxiety because miners thought they'll be losing jobs. But fortunate enough, yesterday or the day before, the Commission lifted that suspension, and the mines will start to operate fully. However, Madam Speaker, one would have expected that due to the fact that we were trying to address the issue of fatalities, and mining is the backbone of our economy, and for the sake of those that are working in the mine, and those that have lost their loved ones to have closure. And I must declare interest, I'm one of them. One would have expected that the Ministry of Mines would have updated the nation as to what steps have been taken so that those youths who wanted to stop going underground would, get relieved, and whatever it is that has been found and put in place to remove any sort of non-compliance that was discovered by the Minerals Regulation Commission as having been addressed. So we, the people of Kantanshi, thought as a mining community which had suffered these losses in the accidents, needed your indulgence to understand what the ministry has discovered and what it would do to ensure that confidence is restored amongst the young miners. I'm seeking for your indulgence, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kantanshi. I'm not sure whether a similar question was asked. Maybe the same question was asked by yourself, Honorable Member for Kantanshi, over the accidents that were happening. And the Honorable Minister, I think you asked an urgent question, if my memory serves me right.
But after that, these were the steps that took place. At that time, there was no suspension of operations, but suspensions took place, and an identification was made that there was non-compliance to safety regulations. But obviously, within that suspension, others thought they'll lose jobs and so on and so forth. But now that has been resolved. But what is important is what is the outcome of this, and how do we make sure our miners feel safe, especially the young miners who we depend on to go underground. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member for Kantanshi, I suggest that you put in a question addressed to the Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development for him to respond to that question. The Honorable Member for Bangweru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for an opportunity to ask an urgent matter without notice, which is directed at the Minister of Infrastructure and Urban Development. Madam Speaker, in November 2024, the government of the Republic of Zambia, through the Minister of Infrastructure, made some assurances on the floor of this House to repair the Kapata-Katansha Road in Bangweru constituency of Zambia district. For 1 year, I repeatedly or continuously visited the offices of the minister and also RDA in Lusaka and in Wapra province. And once again last year in December, the minister reaffirmed the commitment that they are going to work on the road. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, for a year, nothing has been done on that road. And as I'm speaking, the road has been cut off on 2 points, which has made it very difficult for the school-going children to do so, and very difficult for health facilities to be delivered to the community, because the road is now in a deplorable state at the verge of collapse. Madam Speaker, I seek your indulgence.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Bangweru. The issue started in November 2024. You've been making a follow-up. Now the situation has worsened. The road has been cut in 2 points. I suggest you put in a question to the Honorable Minister. He will be able to address that question. And I believe, Honorable Members, we know what to do when there is government assurance that has been given. Well, how do we follow up to ensure that the government assurance is actually performed or undertaken? So the matter is not admitted. We make progress. Questions for oral answer under Standing Order 80. The Honorable Member for Kanyama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question 187.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Good afternoon. Madam Speaker, Honorable Chinkuli would like the Minister of Health in EA to find out when the government will replace the following fault equipment at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital in Kanyama Parliamentary Constituency. And he wants to find a blood count machine and ultrasound machine. In B, what the cause of the delay in replacing the equipment? Madam Speaker, the blood count machine at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital remains fully functional. However, service delivery was temporarily affected due to a shortage of reagents for the ABX Micro 60 machines. In line with its commitment to strengthening healthcare services, the government has already procured the required reagents, which are expected to arrive in the country within 2 weeks. This timely intervention demonstrates the government's proactive approach to ensuring uninterrupted diagnostic services for the people. In B, Madam Speaker, the ultrasound machine at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital that had developed a fault is already being attended to, and the replacement was swiftly provided to ensure continuity of service. Thanks to this timely intervention, the facility has continued to deliver essential ultrasound services without interruptions, reflecting the government's commitment to strengthening healthcare delivery and prioritizing the needs of the community. In C, Madam Speaker, the delay in replacing the ultrasound machine at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital was due to initial effort to repair the equipment. However, I'm pleased to report that the matter has since been fully addressed, as earlier alluded to. A replacement machine was promptly provided, and the facility has continued to deliver uninterrupted ultrasound services to the community. I thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions? The Honorable Member for Kanyama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I didn't hear the Minister properly. I'm well aware that, and we thank the government for having given us the ultrasound machine. That one, we thank you. Now, I didn't hear you properly over the blood count machine. Is it repaired? Is it operational? Or I think I didn't get you properly. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for the follow-up question. I said it was not unserviced, except the reagents were in short supply. And as such, the government has already ordered, within the next 2 weeks, the reagents will be available. And on top of that, we are making arrangements, temporary arrangements, for courier services so that patients are not disadvantaged. Whatever samples will be taken, they will be couriered to the next hospital so that the people are attended to. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Lunte.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Minister puts it very clear that at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital, there are no reagents. They will be coming in 2 weeks' time. Madam, lack of reagents in our hospitals, including Kanyama, is part of the reasons why Zambians do not have proper health care. At other instances, it is the question, as was raised by my honorable colleague, non-functional of medical equipment. But here we are, equipment is working, there are no reagents. Madam, does it mean even at UTH, we do not have reagents so that the ministry can just get a few reagents from the University Teaching Hospital to give to Kanyama so that our people in Kanyama can also receive care as as they are considered as equal patients to those who attend other private hospitals. I seek a clarification, Madam.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member of Parliament for Lunte. The machines are not universal. These reagents are specific to a machine. The machine in Kanyama is different from the other machines. So those reagents are not universal to other machines. That's what I would say. However, we have said we have put measures in place so that the patients are not disadvantaged. There is a courier system which we have put in place. And within 2 weeks' time, the reagents will be in supply. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Member for Kanyama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And Minister, thank you for your response. You know, what saddens is the fact that if you look at the blood count machine, this is the equipment that is used by your clinicians to measure or identify, then analyze the blood, cells to identify or diagnose the infection. So now, looking at the space of time that has passed, how did the ministry diagnose a number of infections that that people in Kanyama have been, having, and bearing in mind that it's nearly every day we have got phenols in Kanyama, every day. So how is the ministry attending to our people, knowing that they are unable to diagnose or identify which disease one is suffering from? Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. That's why I put it to my colleague, Member of Parliament for Kanyama, that we have put alternative measures. However, due to demand at Kanyama, which is growing, I think we have decided that there should be an extra machine. In the time being, we are utilizing the services of the nearby hospital. One good thing is Kanyama is not very far from other hospitals. And even this courier system we have put in place, it will assist. But we are looking into it seriously. I'm aware that the demand has even actually overgrown there. So what we need to do is to supplement, to see what we can do for our people in Kanyama. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chama North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you, Minister, for your responses. Madam Speaker, a healthy country population is productive. Kanyama being a very densely populated constituency, it's quite disheartening that such basic machines like blood count machines, ultrasound, our people could be going for so long without these facilities. Madam Speaker, this is very common in our health institutions. It's not only Kanyama. If you go to UTH and several other health facilities. Now, Minister, to avoid this so that MPs do not come and ask similar questions, are you taking steps to ensure that apart from Kanyama, some of these facilities are readily available than us every time coming here asking questions on the floor of the House? I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Member of Parliament for Chama North. If you have seen the trend ever this government came into power, there's been great improvement in terms of procuring of machines at our health facilities. Not long ago, I provided a list here on the machine that we have provided. But these machines of course they can break down. And when they break down, we have to look into them so that we are going to neglect. And this is a continuous situation. And we have not stopped procuring the machines. Depending on the case-by-case situation, will be addressed accordingly. Health care by this government has been put as a priority. So there should be no worry. Your government is very responsible. It will take care where it is necessary. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Mandevu.
Madam Speaker, I wish to thank you for this opportunity to ask a question to the Minister of Health. The issue of reagents or the lack of reagents at Kanyama First Level Hospital is concerning because it is not only Kanyama, but this issue is peculiar to Chipata First Level, Levi Mwanawasa Hospital. Last week, I was at the National Heart Hospital. The doctors are getting demotivated to treat patients because there are no reagents in these big hospitals to undertake these tests and therefore treat the patients. Minister, your ministry is very critical because it deals with the lives of our people and ourselves. Will you undertake a visit to these hospitals to ascertain the stock levels of reagents so that a quick solution is found? Because our people are being charged. They are being referred to the neighboring, there are laboratories around these big hospitals. And the amounts which are being charged to our people are sometimes exorbitant. So we appreciate that the government has bought these machines, but they are not working because of lack of reagents. My question is, when will you undertake a visit to ascertain the stock levels so that government is able to procure reagents to enable these machines to do their job? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honourable MP for Mandevu. Yes, it's a very critical issue we are dealing with. Reagents are supposed to be available all the time. But the question of procurement, bureaucracy at times puts us at an awkward situation. And mind you, all the medicines that we order, they're supposed to have 80% and above shelf life. Certain commodities, you can't order them in advance because they'll expire. And they need to be within that period. So with the contractual arrangements, it's difficult to stock these reagents for a long period. And also when you follow procurement procedures, it's becoming a bit difficult. The only answer is to have these reagents manufactured within the country. And that's the route we're undertaking by asking companies to come and start manufacturing, because they'll be within reach. And that is what the president is preaching, that we need commodities or products to be manufactured within the country. They'll be within reach. Some of these reagents have to be ordered from Germany. If they come by air, at times they're so costly, and also at times it takes time. And also the quality has to be checked by Zambia. All these are the delays which are caused in the process. But visiting these places, we do visit them. But the issue is, at times also, is attitude. The reorder levels are ignored, but the processes of government to procure are quite bureaucratic and very difficult at times for you to make a quick decision, because you'll be going against the laid down procedures. Those are issues which are giving us a bit of a headache. Otherwise, we hear you and we want to be on top of things. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The last one will be the Honourable Member from Pika.
Thank you so much, and welcome back, Madam Speaker, from your tour of duty. Honourable Minister, I sat here following the proceedings and how you are responding to answers. Quietly so. And I've gotten everything that you've said. But what is very painful is that the issue of lack of reagents at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital seems to receive very less attention. Honorable Minister, this issue has exposed the fact that you are running a collapsed health system. This is in Lusaka.
Yeah.
How about in rural areas? Kaputa, for instance. Mpika in Inawariachuom. Lunga. Reagents just. Our people have to move long distances for them to go and find a hospital which has reagents. You are running a collapsed health system, and the question is, when are you going to ensure that the health sector has a functional health system? Because now it is a collapsed one, and nothing, no rhetorics will change that fact. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Order, honorable members, let's listen to the answer. Honorable members, when we ask questions, they should be factual and verifiable. Let's remember that. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, I thank Honorable Kapyanga. For now, this is 5th year in Parliament. If he follows the trend, he should say thank you to this government. When we took over power, what were the levels of medicines availability in hospitals compared to today? Today you can go anywhere in this country, anywhere. We have the essential commodities, they are above 75%. But where did we find them? This time we are saying everywhere. Reagents is part of commodities, health commodities. The whole country, since UPND came into power, we have the availability above 75, 80, 90%. Despite these problems we have faced of drought and the budget, which was in the negative, the president has stood tall to make sure that health care is above normal. Talk about recruitment, talk about infrastructure. In every constituency, health care has improved tremendously compared to the past 10 years where there were no medicines in the hospital, not even ambulances. Today you have got ambulances. All the constituencies, we must be proud of this government. Honorable Kapyanga, you should be saying thank you. This government is very inclusive. It is not like what we used to see, certain facilities having medicines than other facilities in the opposition by then. This government is doing everything possible. Nothing has collapsed. What could have collapsed is the realism and the thinking of certain people who can't see. They are always looking in the opposite direction. But Zambians have realized and have seen where we are going. And the trajectory is very clear that we are doing extremely very well. And Zambia has become very attractive. A lot of investors are coming to manufacture even medicines, including this they are promising to come into Zambia. We are just from Intercontinental Hotel today, with a lot of investors interested in Zambia. Why? Because of the policies. Zambia has become very attractive as compared to the time when the country had gone into negative. Today, Zambia is strong and admired by most countries around Africa and the world. You should be reading to see how we are being compared to other countries. Zambia is doing very well, extremely well. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
There is an indication, Honorable Member for Mukushi South. First of all, you came in late. So the point of order that I will take is from the Honorable Member for Shuangandu. If you want to raise a point of order, come early.
Let me raise it on.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I reluctantly rise on this very important of order because the Honorable Minister I'm raising a point of order on is someone I have always respected in this August House. And I hold him in that very high esteem. However, Madam Speaker, it's also said that responses that are given by the executive must also be factual and verifiable. Madam Speaker, it's in this August House where you yourself got tired of members lamenting after we lost 60 containers of medicine. I understand the minister went there late. But, Madam Speaker, we have had to lose donor funds from the United States government over theft of drugs, which has never been heard of in the history of this country. So when someone says the report we had here, Madam Speaker, was pointing to the fact that the health system and the drug supply chain had basically collapsed. And it would appear that what we are dealing with now are symptoms of that failed system, which was reported here by a report from your own committee. Is my elder brother in whom I hold so much in order to say that the 5 years that the health sector has had functional systems, Madam Speaker, in the past 5 years. With this background I've given, factual, based on factual and verifiable data available at this institution. I seek your serious ruling, Madam Speaker.
Order, honorable members. You know, if we ask political questions, there will be a political response. But let's be factual, honorable members. Let's be compliant and observe our standing orders. Order, honorable member for Bangweru. So when that report was done, that was 4 years ago, there has not been any report that has been done on the status of the medicines in the hospitals. So there is no verifiable information to say that the medical system in Zambia has collapsed. So, honorable member for Shuangandu, what you are saying again, saying that the system has continued to collapse, there is no verifiable information that you have rendered before this honorable house, so that we can agree with you that indeed the health situation has deteriorated. Let's stick to what we are doing, honorable members, and also let's stick to the questions that are being asked. That way we'll make progress. So we make progress. In other words, the point of order is not admitted, it's dismissed. The next question, the honorable member for Chinsali.
Madam Speaker, question number 188.
The Honorable Minister of, Acting Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Member of Parliament for Chinsali asked the Minister of Transport and Logistics a question in 4 parts. Part A, whether the construction of the airport in Chinsali district will commence. B, what the cause of the delay in commencing the project is. In C, what the estimated cost of the project is. And in D, what the time frame for the completion of the project is. Madam Speaker, in response to the question raised by the Honourable Member of Parliament for Chinsali parliamentary constituency, I wish to inform this August House as follows. In A, the construction of Chinsali Airport will commence once government completes the construction of the selected provincial and strategic airports under Phase 1 project. B, the delay in commencing the works at Chinsali Airport is attributed to government's current commitment to completing the prioritized projects under Phase 1 of the program. This includes Nakondem, Fuwem, Cassava Bay, Mansam, Solwezi, and Mongu. Madam Speaker, the construction of Chinsali Airport will be considered under Phase 2 of the project following the successful completion of Phase 1. In C, the estimated cost of the project will be determined at the feasibility study stage. In D, government will only be in a position to determine the time frame for the completion of the Chinsali Airport project upon successful completion of the identified projects under Phase 1. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions. The Honourable Member for Chinsali.
Madam Speaker, thank you, Honourable Minister, for the answers you have provided. But I would like to find out, when the Minister of Finance was presenting the 2024 national budget in this House, he informed this House, the people of Chinsali and the people of Zambia, that the construction of Chinsali Airport was going to be financed and it was going to start in the year 2024. A matter that was talked about also by His Excellency, the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. And the people of Chinsali have been waiting. So, does the government plan to go and inform the people of Chinsali that what was promised on this floor has changed? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honourable Acting Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Madam Speaker, nothing has changed. All we have said is that we shall commence the construction in Phase 2. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Member for Shuangandu.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, listening to the Minister saying there's no change is surprising. Because like the Honourable Member of Parliament for Chinsali Central is reminding the House, there was a pronouncement and fines appropriated. And this was further confirmed when there was Mchinga exposition. What happened to the funds which were allocated to this project in 2024, Honourable Minister, is my question. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honourable Acting Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Madam Speaker, as you may recall, in 2024 we experienced a drought. So most of the funds that were available were taken to finance a drought. I thank you.
Order, Honourable Members. It appears some Honourable Members have answers. The Honourable Member for Chinsali.
Madam Speaker, it is shocking to listen to the answers being provided by the Minister, the Acting Minister, because I think these are not factual answers. He's just making them up now. Because, Madam Speaker, when the Minister says there was no change, the Minister of Finance announced here that the airport for Chinsali is going to be constructed next year. That was in 2023. And the next year was supposed to be 2024. Then the Minister is saying that there was no change. Then the other thing is that The airport that the government was supposed to construct in Chinsali was taken to Nakonde. So now when he says there was a drought, what is the connection? Where is he getting this propensity to lie? On the floor of the House.
Order, order. Order,
Madam Speaker, I withdraw to lie.
Order, first let me make a ruling. Honorable members, I know we like using big words, so that we express that we know the English language or we are the masters of the language. Let's be courteous to each other and use language which is parliamentary. May the honorable member for Chinsali withdraw the statement that he made.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I withdraw the use of propensity to lie. I replace it with propensity to mislead this House and the nation. I apologize unreservedly for having used that term on my senior honorable member, but
now you can ask your question. All the honorable members. I can see there are so many presiding officers today.
So thank you, Madam Speaker. So my question is, why was Chinsali removed from the first phase when it was supposed to be in the first phase and not in the second phase? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Acting Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Madam Speaker, now that he has asked a decent question, which should have been asked initially, we'll provide him with an answer. And I think it's important to have decency in asking. Madam Speaker, we have a criteria for connectivity. One, this criteria is based on national connectivity. Number two, on the state of preparedness of the project. These two factors indicated in 2024-2025 that from a connectivity perspective, Nakonde was a higher priority because of the economic activities that are in Nakonde, in Muchinga. To have two airports in one province would have been an overkill. And that is why we spread these airports, including in Mongo and other places. It is out of the principle of equity and ensuring that we have national connectivity delivered. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mukushi South.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and welcome back, Madam Speaker. We missed you. Honorable Minister, you have indicated that Madam Speaker,
let's allow the Honorable Member for
protection.
Mukushi
You
South.
can see that they already know that they are going. They are speaking for themselves.
It's all the honorable members. It's only that when you are in a habit of saying something, when you stand up, already people will start speaking on your behalf.
Madam Speaker, they will believe it on the 13th August this year.
You may proceed,
Honorable Minister, you have indicated that you will prepare the cost of the airport for Chinsali this year. Now, bearing in mind that the Zambian people are going to vote you out, you are remaining with 8 months. How long is it going to take you in order for you to prepare the cost estimates of the airport that you intend to build for Chinsali? I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Acting Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Madam Speaker, I'm not aware of where we are going, except forward. I thank you.
The honorable members. It's very easy to acquire a middle name. Eh? The Honorable Member Fonkana.
Uncle Felix, I know that...
Order. Honorable Member Fonkana, order. When we are in the House, just as a reminder, polite reminder that we address ministers by the ministry that they are discharging their functions or the constituency that they are holding. So there are no uncles here. We are not on first name terms either. So may the Honorable Member Fonkana ask.
Apologies is my uncle's, but I take your guidance. Honorable Minister, Acting Minister, I sympathize with you. I know that if the substantive minister, the one with the $120,000 watch, would have maybe clarified this matter much more. Honorable Minister, from the submissions, you can clearly see that this is an issue of the budget. And we here approves the budget or any variation thereof. Shouldn't it have been prudent of you, perhaps to inform the House, if such changes to the budget were made, that now we are sitting in a position where we can clearly say that this facility has been, has been changed in terms of when it's going to be constructed because of the changes to the budget? Shouldn't there have been a situation where we are informed of budgetary changes as opposed to you informing us that there was a drought that led to this change to occur? I seek your indulgence.
Thank you. The Honorable Acting Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The drought is fact, and fact number 2 is that the project wasn't fully prepared. I thank you.
Thank you. There's been a change of... Question Next question, the Honorable Member for No, I'm getting conflicting instructions here. May I be informed as to who is supposed to ask a question? Okay, the Honorable Member for Mangango.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 189.
Thank you. Well, this is by prior arrangement. It was supposed to be asked by the Honorable Member from Bavala. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Member of Parliament from Babala asks the Minister of Education, A, whether the government is aware that some schools in Babala parliamentary constituency stop pupils from attending classes for failure to provide requirements such as toilet paper, reams of paper, and other related materials. B, whether the action above is not against the government's free education policy. And C, if so, what measures the government will take to ensure that the policy is implemented in its entirety. Madam Speaker, I wish to clarify and inform the House that A, the government is not aware of any schools in Babala parliamentary constituency that have stopped pupils from attending classes on account of failure to provide items such as toilet paper, reams of paper, or other related materials. The Minister of Education has not received any formal reports to that effect. However, should such practices be occurring, the Ministry will institute immediate investigations to establish the facts. In B, Madam Speaker, I wish to state categorically that any action by a school to deny a learner access to education on the basis of failure to provide the aforementioned materials is contrary to the government's free education policy. The policy expressly prohibits the imposition of mandatory payments or material contributions that hinder learners from attending school. C, in order to ensure full, consistent implementation of the free education policy, the government has issued clear policy guidelines and circulars to all provincial education offices, district education board secretaries, and school authorities, reiterating that no learner should be excluded from school for non-payment of fees or failure to provide supplementary materials. Further, the Ministry continues to monitor compliance through provincial and education offices, and disciplinary action is taken against any school authority found to be contravening established policy. The government remains firmly committed to safeguarding equitable access to education for all the learners in line with its policy objectives. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions. The Honourable Member for Kantanshi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to take advantage of this question, as much as it's a constituency-based question, but I wanted to draw the attention of the Minister, especially to his response in B. Madam Speaker, we do appreciate the free education policy, but as members of Parliament, particularly speaking for myself, I seem to have a few challenges, and I'm concerned that some of these that have been mentioned by my colleague from Mbabala, the Ministry is not aware, but I wanted to go a step further. Madam Speaker, when grade 12s write their exams, because this is under free education, usually when you're in grade 12, you don't pay anything. But there is a gap here between the year you go to school and the year the results come out in January. So there is what they call the GCE exams. Now, those GCE exams, usually it could be maybe somebody who got pregnant. There are various reasons. Maybe they didn't pass or things like that. But the whole idea of the free education policy is to ensure that there is optimal advantage for people to get educated. But when I look at the costs that we are incurring now, and I've raised this before, to write a GCE exam, Madam Speaker, one paper is 200 kwacha. Then you have to pay a center fee, about 350 kwacha. Then you have to pay a tuition fee, all sorts of manner of expenses. Now, like I said, I'm taking advantage of this because I wanted to raise a private member's motion, but because of what the minister has said, that his ministry is not aware, could it be that even these costs that are currently hindering, especially the girl child, to probably write a maths exam that they failed, and maybe in the, during the gap year they can pass and get a better result to even get a bursary? What is your ministry doing about this? Because this is one area that is really affecting the pupils when they get their grade 12 results. I will not speak of grade 9, the combination of two papers when somebody passed the previous year, failed the previous year and passed, because now the curriculum has changed. But now the problem we're having is this. What is your ministry doing? And if at all there's any response you can provide us outside what has been asked. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Minister for Education, I don't know whether you have a response to that long question.
Obviously, the question is new, but the policy itself is from early childhood education through to secondary school. That's the policy of free education. GCSE is a different issue. So we give you an opportunity even to write those grade 12 exams for free, and the government pays for that. So if you fail, you are on your own. So we help you from early childhood up to grade 12. And then the burden is not for the parents. The burden is squarely for the government to pay for those exams. So let the kids work very hard so that they pass mathematics first instance, they pass science first instance. That's the policy. I guess you understand what I'm talking about, which I'll be bringing now for all to pass here, from early childhood up to Form 5, or grade 12 if you like. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kantanshi looks like he has not gotten. It is better to engage on the sidelines. The Honorable Member for Mangango.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'm happy to be informed that the government is carrying out investigations about these happenings. I would like to find out from the Honorable Minister, or tell the country clearly what kind of stern measures will be taken against such kind of teachers that are working against the government of the day by charging or telling learners to come with tissue papers and the like, because as a result of that, our learners are then not attending class. So what kind of stern measures will the government do to such kind of teachers? I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister for Education.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is why initially I said we were not aware, but if this is happening, then we will deal with the culprits. But they are not allowed to charge all this. Maybe for the sake of the one who asked the question, the POO and the DEPS asked the Member of Parliament as to who had indicated to him that certain schools are doing this. He answered that he had met a woman on the way. So we don't deal with people on the way. And we said, what was the word? He said he had forgotten the word. So really, I was just answering in case it is happening somewhere. But otherwise, this particular one, the Member of Parliament failed to give us. He said he met some woman on the road. So if you have some who are doing that, report them. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Ron.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me once more to ask a follow-up question to the Minister. Minister of Education, this issue is not only peculiar in Mbawala constituency, but it's quite common in quite a number of schools where pupils are actually asked to bring various items to supplement, I don't know, maybe the learning environment. Honorable Minister, these pupils come from homes, from various parents, and I believe the parents have a platform under your ministry called the PTA, or Parents Teachers Association. My question, Honorable Minister, is what is these things are happening and the parents are aware? How much collaboration is there between the PTA and probably the DEBS, the PEO, or any department of your ministry to ensure that we curb such practices? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Education.
The parents have got, they are allowed to complain. But the problem is that Zambians will just write on social media. And I tell some of them to go and report to the police. Somebody was reporting to me that there's some school where to get a place you have to pay. So I said, but that is theft. So why don't you go and report? So sometimes it's your parents who don't report. You only go and say it somewhere else because you wanted the child to be in school. But you are paying when you are not supposed to pay. So it's the parents themselves sometimes. But we encourage everybody to report whenever such things occur. Because we don't want to be taxing the same parents that we said will pay for on their behalf. So that's the relief that we give to parents. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kanyama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honourable Minister, I want to believe that Minister of Health oversees issues of health in the country, be it private or public, of which I would want to align the same to the Minister of Education, which I believe it should be regulating both industries, the private and the public. Now, if that is the case, the policy that we just made mention here, where no child can be sent away because has not provided, toilet tissues and the like. Does this also affect the private sector? Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Honorable Minister of Education.
I guess I got you right. You are saying, does this apply to private schools as well? No. This is strictly for public schools. Okay? Yeah. So private is private. Just bring your children to public schools. We have now gotten, I was just told, there are now about 2.5 million children back in school who could not afford to go to school. So bring them to the public schools, and they pass nicely. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question, the Honorable Member for Chama North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 190.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Member of Parliament for Chama North asked the Minister of Technology and Science a question in 5 parts. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that A, the government is... Sorry, Madam Speaker, let me read the question. The question is whether the government is aware that Malala Ward in Chama South parliamentary constituency has been experiencing poor Zamtel network connectivity. B, if so, what the cause of the poor network connectivity is. In C, what urgent measures are being taken to resolve the problem. In D, whether government has any plans to upgrade the network tower at Katangalika from 3G to 5G, and in E, if so, when the plans will be implemented. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that A, government is aware that Malala Ward in Chama North parliamentary constituency has been experiencing poor Zamtel network connectivity. B, the poor network service being experienced in Katangalika Day Secondary School in Malala Ward is attributed to old and absolute batteries that can no longer power the communication towers for 24 hours. C, Madam Speaker, Infratel, a state-owned infrastructure company responsible for maintenance of Zamtel towers and associated power system, is in the process of upgrading all power solutions with similar challenges, including the tower at Katangalika Station. Installation of the equipment involving solar panels, lithium batteries, and inverters is expected to commence in June 2026, and this will enable the site to operate for 24 hours. D, government has no plans to upgrade Katangalika site to 5G. This follows our assessment, which has revealed that Katangalika site would be adequately covered by a 4G network. In E, the site will be upgraded from 3G to 4G in the last quarter of 2026. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Chama North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Minister, for your responses. Minister, the Katangalika Communication Tower has really been bringing a lot of challenges, especially for our school, the Katangalika Day Secondary School. The teachers cannot access the internet, with ITC. It's quite a huge challenge. And every time I've been in touch with Zamtel, of course, they have been saying that the issue of batteries. So you indicate that you have intention to upgrade from 3G to 4G in the second quarter of this year. So as an interim measure, Minister, what are you doing between now and that time? Because currently the situation is quite very bad. When it's about 16, 17 hours, you cannot communicate. So that's the situation there. So what is as an interim measure, what are you doing before the tower is upgraded to 4G? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a challenge. The quorum has dropped. Can we ensure that all the members are in the house? Can you please ring the bell? Even the Honorable Member for Mukushi South, after asking one question, 2 questions, is gone. Okay, we can continue with our business. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, we did indicate that problem number 1 to be solved is a battery issue, and that the battery will be resolved by June 2026. So that will make the tower operational 24 hours. As regards the upgrade to 4G, we indicated that that will be done at the end of this year. I thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Chama North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Minister. You are saying in June. We hope that is going to be done, Honorable Minister. Now, the other question I want to find out from you, since you are saying that you are going to upgrade that tower from 3G to 4G, is it going to actually take care of these other networks, for example, like Airtel, MTN, because I know that the people very much immune to Airtel. So will that upgrade be able to take on board these other networks? Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, we have a policy now where all network operators can co-locate on any tower. So, for example, the Zamtel Tower, which is in that ward, the other network operators such as Airtel and MTN can co-locate on that same tower. So we encourage them that there is already a passive tower, and all you need is to hang your active equipment. So that policy is very clear. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm worried with the response given by the Minister. Madam Speaker, the Minister is very confident of saying June. Materially, physically, June means in Kalabo. And we are facing the same problem. Now, I want the Minister to imagine, to put himself, objectivity, what really solid reason that will make these 4 months comfortable to the people in that area and other related areas so that they are able to contain a problem for 4 months. Honorable Mr. Speaker, Mr. Minister, let us be very humane. Feeling pain for 4 months, no communication. Madam, immediately it is 16:30, 17 hours, the phones you stop. Now, the minister is proposing, and is very sure that for 4 months, you will be like that. Surely, Honorable Minister, with 2026, surely it's not possible to have an alternative that will make these people communicate whilst are waiting for a long-lasting solution. 2026, there is no preservative answer, Madam Speaker. Me, I'm not satisfied. This is 2026, Madam Speaker. The technology which the minister is talking about has gone ahead. Why should our people wait for 4 months confidently with problems? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Member for Parliament for Kalabo who wants to cry, I'll give him a handkerchief. Madam Speaker, the towers...
Order, honorable members, order.
Madam Speaker, there are several towers across the country that have got similar challenges of battery, absolute batteries that were fixed many years ago. Now, what Infratel has done is to bulk order the batteries to replace the various towers, including in Chama North, including in other parts of the country. These are on their way, and the earliest that the work will be done, according to their work schedule, is end of June. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, it can't be done any earlier than June 2026. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for, you just came in, Honorable Member for Chama North, you came in and you started chatting, so I don't know whether you were following up. We'll skip you for this one. And may I also take this opportunity to welcome back in the House the Honorable Member for Mukushi South. He has come back. So let's make progress. The next question, the Honorable Member for Mpika.
I'm grateful, Madam Speaker. Question number 191.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Kapyanga, we'd like to find out from Minister of Health in A, whether government has any plans to construct a level 1 hospital in Nabwadia Chiefdom in Mpika parliamentary constituency. In B, if so, when the plans will be implemented. In C, what is the estimated cost? In D, if there are no such plans, why? Madam Speaker, government does not have any immediate plans to construct a level 1 hospital in Nabwadia Chiefdom. However, government has allocated the construction of a mini hospital for the area. In B, Madam Speaker, the contractor has been awarded and the site identified. Construction is scheduled to commence in the second quarter of 2026. In C, the estimated cost of the mini hospital is 32 million kwacha, inclusive of equipment and an ambulance. In D, Madam Speaker, government remains committed to expanding healthcare infrastructure and has plans to progressively enhance service delivery in Nabwadia Chiefdom. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member. I see no supplementary question. Honorable Member from Mpika.
Madam Speaker, I just wanted to appreciate the answer from the Minister. It's very practical. The contractor will actually be on site. It's just because of the terrain that his contractor is not yet on site. So I must appreciate him most sincerely on the behalf of the people. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I didn't hear the question. He's got no questions. He's appreciating, okay. Okay. So I thought, okay, I will not say anything. The other previous question was something else. Now there is appreciation, which is good for the Honorable Minister of Health. So we make progress. The next question, the Honorable Member for Milenge.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 192.
The Honorable Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me also add a voice to those that have welcomed you back, and we want to appreciate your effective representation and your team. Madam Speaker, Honorable Chonde is asking the Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts the following questions. In A, whether the government has any plans to construct a youth resource center in Milenge district. B, if so, when the plans will be implemented. And in C, if there are no such plans, why? Madam Speaker, the area member of parliament for Milenge wished to note that government is very desirous to construct youth resource centers. In fact, not only in Milenge, but in all the 116 districts, in order to facilitate enhanced youth access to skills training. However, Madam Speaker, we do not have immediate plans. Maybe we underline the word immediate. Plans may be there, but we do not have immediate plans to construct a youth resource center in Milenge district. As I have just emphasized in B, Madam Speaker, we don't have immediate plans. However, the ministry would want to encourage you, and also other members of parliament who do not have these youth resource centers, to consider planning and also funding using other alternative sources of funding. Other alternative sources of funding. In C, Madam Speaker, as we have just stated in A and B. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions? The Honorable Member for Milenge.
Madam Speaker, the Minister is being very clever by closing me out. But however, one of his words caught my attention. You said alternative funding. Milenge is part of government. And we appreciate that the earlier statement which you said, you don't have immediate plans. So these are some of the remote areas that look forward to government to provide for these facilities in order to, cater for many other things that these facilities bring, closing up, bridging up the differences. Would you be in a position to suggest to Milenge what other sources of funding we have outside government? Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for that important follow-up question. Madam Speaker, the alternative sources of funding that I was talking about, first, before I can even suggest to you, I think it's in this House that I've been appealing to all members of Parliament that have seen the Minister of Education, Madam Speaker, you've seen benefiting from CDF. We have seen the Minister of Health benefiting from CDF. We have seen water, we have seen home affairs. I think it's high time that the Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts also benefit, Madam Speaker, from CDF. I want to see a resource center built using CDF. I want to see a sports facility built under CDF. I want to see arts galleries built using CDF. That is just one part. And another example, I have so many examples, Madam Speaker. Another example to members of Parliament that I've seen using CDF, number one is Stage. As I'm talking to you now, Stage has just finished. They have just completed putting up a resource center using CDF. Congratulations to Member of Parliament for Stage Mutinta, who is not in the House. Another example, Madam Speaker, is the construction of a resource center in Luangwa district, Madam Speaker. They were helped by what they call Luangwa Child Development Agency, and it is also expected to be opened this year. Another very good example is the Nkulamaziba Youth Resource Center in Mumbwa. Honorable members just gone out. They have also been helped using ZAP funds. In Serenje, we also have another one, and they have been helped by Poverty Reduction Program, PRP. So these are some of the alternative sources I was talking about. But even where I'm coming from in Kaputa, it's because someone mentioned that, we are also doing that also, so that we can reduce the burden on the central government. But this is just the same money. It's the same money, either local or central, it's the same money. So maybe you can also try. There are also other cooperating partners that you can talk to. They may be of help. With that, Madam Speaker, I want to thank you most sincerely for the opportunity.
With that response, should we keep on asking the same questions? The Honorable Member for Kafue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Indeed, I wanted to rise to confirm government's commitment towards, these youth facilities, because in my constituency where I come from, there's a very big upcoming I wanted to check with the minister, talking about alternatives and government as a possible source of these funds. Do we have something to complete the Kafue Youth Resource Center at the moment? Because then it will benefit our youth from Milenge and elsewhere where they've never put up this facility. Because the Kafue project, Madam Speaker, is a very big undertaking that would, in fact, accommodate youth from across the entire country. I thank you.
The only challenge, this is a constituency-based question. So I suggest the Honorable Member for Kafue puts in a question. As regards the issue of alternative funding, I wanted to make a comment, but I'm not going to. Relating to the dog, a female and a male dog. Can you ask whether this is a male dog or this is a female dog? That's the same answer. The CDF, I believe, is there. So I think we have exhausted this question. Let's make progress. We go to the next question, the Honorable Member for Chinsali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 193.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and again, welcome back home. The Honorable Member for Chinsali Parliamentary Constituency is asking the Minister of Energy a question in 4 parts. In A, whether the government has any plans to build power interconnectors to strengthen cross-border energy trade. And in B, if so, how many power interconnectors the government plans to build. And in C, what the estimated cost of the project is. And D, if there are no such plans, why? Madam Speaker, our response is as follows. Yes, government has plans to build power interconnectors to strengthen cross-border energy trade. And in B, Madam Speaker, the government intends to build 7 interconnectors projects, which include Malawi-Zambia interconnector, Mozambique-Zambia interconnector, Kolwezi-Solwezi interconnector, Angola-Zambia interconnector, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Namibia interconnector, Botswana, Zambia interconnector, Tanzania, Zambia interconnector. Estimates for the 6 interconnectors have been determined, and the total cost is $5.5 billion United States dollars. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. For members that have just walked in, I don't know what questions you'll be able to ask. The Honorable Member for Chinsali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, when are we expecting the one for Tanzania, Zambia to be completed so that we can take advantage of the excess power supply in the East Africa? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Madam Speaker, Zambia-Tanzania interconnector has well advanced, and we expect it to be completed in 2028. I thank you.
The Honorable Member for Chama South.
Madam Speaker, I'm very grateful. Through you, Madam Speaker, I want to say that for us members of Parliament who come from rural areas, for as long as you know that your constituency or indeed you are a resident of a rural area, this August, know that the right person to take development forward in those rural areas is President Hakainde Hichilema. I know the people of Nakonde will be voting for President Hakainde Hichilema this August. Honorable Minister, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema just announced that each district will have a 2 kilowatt solar energy, megawatts solar energy. We know that some districts, Madam Speaker, needs almost 1 kilo or 1 megawatts, like Nyimba, and many others, including Mandi. Are you planning, Honorable Minister? You've just announced that there are so many interconnectors, including the one from East Africa, to connect these mini grids to these interconnectors so that the local economy should be able to come and benefit from such a great initiative by the President of this Republic, who is developing rural communities. Madam Speaker, you can imagine next 5 years, probably from 40 million, each constituency getting more than 50 million. Where will these rural constituencies be, or rural areas be? This is the reason why we need President Hakainde Hichilema. Why are you planning to connect these solar plants, Honorable Minister, to these interconnectors so that the members or the citizens of this country should be able to benefit from Forex and from these solar plants? I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Member. As you are aware that we have got a visionary president. You know, when we were going through difficulties as a country, people thought we are going to remain like that. But you have seen from his good policies, today we are able to see our country moving to another level. And indeed, we have the plan, Madam Speaker, to make sure that all 156 constituencies have a 2 megawatts of power. And the more reason why we are trying to put up these interconnectors is we want to make Zambia a trading hub in the energy sector. The surplus that we are going to produce as a country will be able to trade it to our neighboring countries, which will grow our economy by getting the Forex. So this is how a methodical leader works. And today, everybody in this country, they are happy, including Honorable Pundu, who have been troubling so much, calling me Minister of Darkness. I thank you.
Thank you very much. The visiting Honorable Member of Parliament for Matero, because he is just come in. He comes in and goes as he pleases. He's my cousin, so it's on a lighter note.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I join other members in welcoming you back from your tour of duty. We indeed missed you in the House, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I ask the Minister of Energy, the able Minister of Energy, Honorable Chikote, Minister Chikote, currently able, he was unable. This cross-border interconnector, they are for either importing power or exporting. So for Nakonde and elsewhere, we already have an interconnector, the SADC pool interconnector. Currently, the extra power that comes from there now that we're importing during the load shedding, the power, instead of ZESCO receiving it and giving it to the people,
it was being given to a private company. So when you finish this cross-border interconnector, when you import the power, will you give it to a private company like Canona, or it will be ZESCO to distribute that power? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Member for Matero, who rarely sits in the House. Madam Speaker, the interconnectors, I was just explaining here that as we keep on generating power for this country, the surplus will be traded to other countries, because the interconnectors is not just for importing, even us for exporting, to have revenues, which is going to help to grow our economy. So, and also, Madam Speaker, in our administration, we have said that we are going to create a conducive environment to allow private sector participation in growing our economy. Canona is one of the companies which is also part and parcel of private sector. And even during our time when we are going through difficulties, the private sector were on board helping us to import power in this country to stabilize the power supply. So Canona is just like any other private sector. And this, and actually last time even the president of this republic, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, did encourage us to invest in the energy sector. So that means that private people, you are being encouraged, including Honorable Mpundu. You can form up a company that will help to grow the economy. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. They have seen so many people, honorable members indicating from the answers, I think we are going round. We'll try the honorable member for Kankoyo and see where we are going.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Let me also welcome you back to this August House. You've been providing quality leadership from 2021. And it's my sincere hope and prayer that as the President Hakainde Hichilema, wins with a landslide in August, you'll be reconsidered again to come and continue doing this good work. Madam Speaker, today many Zambians don't understand why we have suddenly load shedding has come to an end. Is having the interconnectors, so many interconnectors, one of the reasons that we were now able to import power at a time when we need it the most, and end load shedding without attaching campaigns to it, because many people believe this is just a political poll which will again after August will go back to load shedding. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, the Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member. Madam Speaker, I think this is the time, even those people who just like criticizing, to understand that this administration had to put a lot of intervention in place in order to stabilize power supply. And one of the reasons why we have good stable supply of power is the power that we have been importing in the country to supplement what we are generating in this country. So the Southern Power Pool is one area where we were importing power to stabilize. I remember in this August House, I did mention that we are importing 511 megawatts to supplement what we are generating. So these were not, it's not the way people are thinking that, it's because of the campaigns which are coming. These are methodical plans that this administration has put in place. And I have always said that going forward, and I even mentioned last time that by December 2025, power supply in the country will change, will move to better levels. And indeed, today, Zambia is not experiencing load shedding. And these are initiatives that have been put in place by this administration. And even after elections, we're still going to have 24 hours supply of power because of these interventions that we have put in place and the good policies of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chama North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Minister, for your responses. Honorable Minister, it is encouraging that we have quite a number of pipeline investments to construct interconnectors so that we are able to trade in electricity in East Africa and Southern African power pools. Now, I know that we need huge sums of money to undertake these interconnectors. Is government coming to the aid of ZESCO so that ZESCO can undertake this mammoth task? Because I'm alive to the fact that the power company has been having financial challenges. I submit.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member. Indeed, Madam Speaker, government is doing everything possible to make sure that ZESCO is able to sustain its operations by creating, support for ZESCO. And also, we are encouraging ZESCO to go into partnership with the private companies to make up this infrastructure that we are intending to have in the country. So, Madam Speaker, indeed, this government is giving the maximum support to ZESCO to remain sustainable as a utility company, like it used to be in the past. But I'm sure going forward, ZESCO will not be the same. We are doing everything possible to give them the necessary support which they require. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Nkana.
Honorable Minister of Energy, I'm glad you have mentioned that I was pressing you, particularly in regards to the issue of you constructing an interconnector between Zambia and Tanzania. If, Honorable Minister, you adhered to that call, you would not have subjected the people of Zambia to these untold miseries for over 4 years, only to make it better when you are exiting. Now, you've mentioned this project will cost $5 billion. Are you doing these interconnectors at once? I'm particularly interested in the Tanzania-Zambia interconnector. Who is funding that interconnector and at what level is it? Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Member. First of all, Madam Speaker, I want to correct these honorable members who keep on saying we are about to exit. Where are we exiting? The people of this country have seen what this administration has done. And those are the factors which will make us to continue. August 13, Madam Speaker, the people of Zambia have seen this administration, what it has done to change the economy of this country, to bounce back this country to where it's supposed to be. And those are the factors which are going to make us to continue. Come August. Now, Madam Speaker, coming to his question, first of all, you must understand that the Zambia-Tanzania interconnector that you are just talking about, I did mention that we have already advanced, meaning we have our cooperating partners that are also supporting this project. So these projects that I have just mentioned, you must be aware that we are moving in the right direction, and the resources that you are talking about are already planned by support with the cooperating partners, private sectors coming on board. So these are the projects that we are going to do with the support from our cooperating partners, such as like World Bank and African Development Bank. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kabata will be the last one.
Yes. I'm grateful, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity, and welcome back. Madam Speaker, Honorable Minister, I just wanted to find out, of course, I think I will I'll base my question on the question that has been asked by the MP for Chama North regarding the cost and also partnership. You did actually mention yourself that ZESCO, you will be able to create an environment for ZESCO to either do a PPP project with other partners. But however, my substantive question, Honorable Minister, is I want to find out whether a feasibility study has been done, the interconnector between Zambia and Malawi and Zambia and Angola. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I want really to correct one of the sentiments that my honorable dearest friend, Honorable Mpondo, saying he pushed us. It's not pushing this administration. It's the plans of this administration. We are not being pushed by anybody, but it is the administrative plans of this government. And coming to the feasibility studies, whether they have been done for Malawi-Zambia interconnectors. Indeed, Honorable Member of Kawata, the feasibility studies for Malawi-Zambia interconnector have been completed on this project, and discussions are going on with the World Bank. I thank you.
Thank you. Before we go, there's an indication for a point of order. Honorable Member from Ghana, what's the point of order?
Madam Speaker, by standing order number 71, I just thought that there could be clarity to the question I asked, which was not answered or was answered partially. My question, Madam Speaker, sought to get a direct response from the Minister as to what stage the interconnector between Tanzania and Zambia is, whether it has started being constructed or at what stage it is, and who exactly is sponsoring that or is financing this project. Is the Minister in order not to put this record so that the answered can carry this information correctly? I seek your indulgence.
The question that is contained in 193 says whether the government has any plans to build power interconnectors to strengthen cross-border energy trade. So it was more general. You have asked a more specific question. The Honorable Minister might not have the numbers or the figures at his hands, on his hands, so it will be difficult for the Honorable Minister to go into details of the specific interconnector that you are asking about. So if you are not satisfied, Honorable Member from Ghana, you may put in a question, a direct question. All the honorable members, I have one announcement to make. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of staff from Kaoma Town Council in Kaoma District, led by the Council Secretary. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. I thank you. You may take your seats. Next question, order, honorable members. Next question, the honorable member for Kwacha. The honorable member for Kwacha. Gone once, twice. Go on. The question lapses in accordance with our standing orders. The next question, the honorable member for he's not there. He's not there. Oh, honorable member for Kanchivia, sorry. We forgot.
Madam Speaker, question 195.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member of Parliament for Panamkubwa would like to find out from the Minister of Health in A, whether the government has any plans to construct the following facilities at Mushili Level 1 Hospital in Bwanamkubwa Parliamentary Constituency. That is kitchen, laundry room, mortuary, and boundary wall fence. In B, if so, when the plans will be implemented. And in C, if there are no such plans, why? Madam Speaker, the government has committed to the construction of identified structures at Mushili Level 1 Hospital in Bwanamkubwa Parliamentary Constituency. This undertaking is part of our broader effort to enhance the performance of the facility following the generous grant received from the Japanese government. In B, Madam Speaker, the 4 planned structures will not be built spontaneously, but undertaken in a phased manner. The initial phase will commence with the construction of the boundary wall fence. This measure is prioritized to safeguard the significant investment already made in both infrastructure and medical equipment. Hey. Madam Speaker, a contractor has been duly identified and awarded the project. An advance payment of 1.27 million is being made to initiate the boundary fence construction. Works are expected to begin within this quarter. It is further envisaged that the entire project, in line with the Ministry of Health Infrastructure Operations Plan, will be completed by December 2027. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions. When I mentioned that some members of parliament come to visit, the honorable member for Matero has concluded his visitation and he has left us. We hope to see him tomorrow. The honorable supplementary questions, the honorable member for Kanchibia.
Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask on behalf of the people of Bwanamkubwa. To the Honourable Minister, thank you so much for the assurance as given, and we appreciate that there's the phased approach to the 4 infrastructure, as has been asked by the Honourable Member on behalf of his people. In terms of ranking from the construction of the boundary wall fence, which set of infrastructure would take precedent in that order, and how long is this rollout going to be, the phased approach going to take? Madam Speaker, thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Depending on the finances release, what is important first of all is the wall fence. Then we have to look at the mortuary, depending on the priorities as set. But we are determined to do everything that is here. And also the Japanese government would want to hasten the completion so that it is in full use. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kanchibia.
Madam Speaker, I thank you. And maybe in more precise terms, Honourable Minister, what should the Honourable Member of Bwanamkubwa say to his people who are watching this telecast? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Minister of, have you concluded? Honourable Member for Kanchibia.
I can repeat the question.
Madam Speaker, I would like him to repeat the question.
Oh, kindly repeat the question, apparently.
Thank you so much, Honourable Minister, and thank you, Madam Speaker. In terms of the time frame and what has been attached to this, the phased approach, there was mention of by 2027, and then there's the beginning of the construction of the boundary wall fence. I think the contractor has been identified and the contract has been signed. I just want to make sure if that is what the Minister said, so that the Member of Parliament would then know what to say to the people of Bwanamkubwa as they're following these proceedings. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for the follow-up question. All depends on the financing
After this money is utilized and the work is satisfactorily delivered, then we go to the next stage. Everything depends on the financing. But what is key, work will be continuous. And the releases are coming from the Japanese government or depend on how the work is executed. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The next question, the Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 196.
The Honorable Minister, Acting Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Mioto of Kalabo Central Constituency to ask the Minister of Agriculture, A, how many farmers benefited from the Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility program in Kalabo District during the 2024-2025 farming season? B, what categories of the beneficiaries they were? And C, what measures the government is taking to enhance the viability of the program? Madam Speaker, we wish to inform the House that A total of 54 farmers benefited from the Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility program in Kalabo District during the 2024-2025 farming season. The loan amounts disbursed were 7,446,000 kwacha. B, all 54 beneficiaries were supported under the crop production category. And say, in order to strengthen the viability of the SAP program, the government is implementing the following measures. One, improved targeting, that is prioritizing emerging small-scale farmers to ensure effective support. Two, increased hedging funds, that's boosting funding to the Zambia Credit Guarantee Scheme to attract private sector financing. Three, AD loan access, that's launch cropping product by October to allow timely preparation for planting. And four, program expansion, that is activate additional components like livestock and aquaculture beyond the current focus on crop production, irrigation, and mechanization which currently are being implemented. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Supplementary questions? I see none. We make progress. Next question, the Honorable Member from Pika.
I'm grateful, Madam Speaker. Once again, question number 197.
The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. The Honorable Acting Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. I was doing by powers vested in me. I'm appointing acting minister. Welcome, Honorable Minister. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also take this opportunity to welcome you back home. We missed you. The Honorable Member for Mpika is asking the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development the following questions. A, when the contract for the rehabilitation of the Great North Road from Serenge to Mpika will be signed. B, whether the contract will include upgrading of township roads to bituminous standards in the districts along the project. C, if so, which districts will benefit from township roads? And D, if no township roads will be included, why? Madam Speaker, we answer as follows. Answer to question A, is the government intends to sign the contract for the rehabilitation of the Great North Road from Serenge to Mpika in the second quarter of 2026. B, the current scope of works does not include township roads. C, as stated in B above, the upgrading of township roads was not part of the scope of works agreed with the World Bank. B, as stated in B above, the rehabilitation of the Serenje to Mpika Road is funded by the World Bank and does not include township roads. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions? The Honorable Member from Mpika.
Thank you so much.
Order. As the time is 16:40 hours, I suspend business for 20 minutes for a health break.
Thank you very much for still watching Parliament TV, the station that is dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you. And the House has taken a 20-minute break, business that is expected to continue at 17 hours. So a quick look at what has happened today from the time business commenced earlier on. Matimba, I remember that there were some announcements that were made by Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker did recognize the presence in the public gallery of two members of the public from Nkema Parliamentary Constituency in Western Province and also staff from Kawoma Town Council from Kawoma District. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, warmly welcomed the visitors to the National Assembly.
And then there was also another announcement, Madam Speaker, in which she informed the House that approval had been granted for the Catholic Church to hold Mass with Catholic members of Parliament and staff on Wednesday, 18th February 2026 in the amphitheatre here at Parliament Buildings. She said that this was in commemoration of Ash Wednesday, an annual religious activity that signals the commencement of 40 days of prayer, fasting and almsgiving leading up to Easter. Madam Speaker did inform honourable members of Parliament who wished to attend the Mass that it was on a voluntary basis and not restricted to members of the Catholic Church. And in that regard, Madam Speaker urged all honourable members and staff to attend the event, which will take place between 12:30 hours and 13:55 hours.
And on the order paper, the House has so far considered 8 questions for oral answer understanding order 80 and 1 question lapse. This is question 194, which was supposed to come from Kwacha Member of Parliament, Mr. Charles Mlenga.
Okay, and at the time business was being suspended, the House was considering question 197, a question that has been posed by Mpika Member of Parliament, directed at the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. And Mpika Member of Parliament, Mr. Kapyanga, was just about to pose a follow-up question. So we expect him to pose his question when business commences after the break. In the meantime, we take a short break. We'll be with you on the other side.
What is cholera?
Cholera is a diarrheal disease. A person with cholera will have severe diarrhea and vomiting. The stool will be watery, like rice water. The patient will become dehydrated due to loss of body fluids. The patient may die within 12 hours if he or she does not get proper medical treatment.
How can one get cholera?
Drinking